Man, oh man. So, kind of got a gripe. Let's look here. T-Mobile. That's my carrier provider. As you can see, that's who I'm locked into, and I use for my service. I don't know about you, but that's who I use. So let's say I'm wanting to take the Z Fold 3 and go trade it in to T-Mobile or whatever carrier you're with. You give them your device. They take it, do whatever with it, give you your new one. And once it goes into their possession, who really knows what happens after that, right? So with T-Mobile, most of the time, at least, your phone will go to Texas, or your Apple Watch or whatever it is that you're trading in will go to Texas, and it will sit for a substantial amount of time. And what will happen is they'll get your phone or your device back and they'll scan it in, and for whatever reason, everything sits in limbo for a good month or so. Most of the time, it's 2 billing cycles before you'll see your trade-in values and all of the promotions kick in and all of that good stuff. So it's really quite messed up sometimes to wait for those things to transition. For instance, my coworker went and traded in 2 phones, a 10XR, iPhone XR, 10XR, and then his wife traded in a 12 Pro. They gave her like $100 and something on the 12 Pro, and his XR was like $80. So they make everything look really pretty in front of you, and they get you all hyped up about the device, and you know that you could probably take that if it's paid off and get a little bit more for it, but you say, nah, and you just go ahead, let's do it now and get it over with, and you don't have to take the time to sell it, or if it's got a cracked screen or whatever the case might be, you don't want to deal with it. So you just move on. So like in his case, they gave him $100 in change for his 12 Pro, and it's still a $500 phone and whatever. So they're going to apply that to his account, and it's just going to take some time. But Apple is really, really weird. You guys are really weird in how you move your hardware from older phones into your newer ones, and then try to paint it pretty that you're getting last year's stuff for a little bit lower of a price, but not really, kind of, sort of, but nah. No. And then you get less cameras. You got two different sizes, 2 different size screens, but just one that's packed with really good hardware and one that's minimal. It's kind of like your Apple Watch with the Ultra. And then, to be honest with you, the Series 8 and the 45 millimeter is really, you're talking really, really small amounts of real estate when it comes to the screen. And that's the Apple Watch Ultra and the Series 8. It's very small, minimal. So you're not missing out a lot on that. It's just extra buttons and a few functions and stuff like that. But once again, they dress it up really pretty and make it appealing. And to be honest with you, a lot of people that say that this isn't for them, the Apple Watch Ultra isn't for them, or the 14 Pro Max isn't for them, there's a lot of people just may not think that it'll fit into their lifestyle, or just do not want to afford it. I don't want to afford it, but I like nicer things, and that's just how I operate and work for myself. And I work that much harder to make sure that I can do that. But for everyone else, you're getting last year's stuff and in the new phones. It's just really weird and kind of frustrating with them, and it's frustrating with these carrier providers waiting on promotions and trade-in values to kick in while you're living in the real world trying to avoid getting a $300 cell phone bill. And once you sign up for all of these new promotions and get these new devices, your first bill is going to be heavy. Once all of those promotions kick in, at least for me, in some instances, I've actually not had to pay a bill and been pretty good for a little while. And just depending on your situation, you can have heavy promotions kick in and you might not have to pay a bill for a month or two. Just depends on your situation. But how is your situations dealing with carrier providers and trade-ins? Do you get a fast promotion turnaround? Do they put everything on your bill really quickly, or are you having to wait months and months? Literally 2 for me. 2 months for it to be adjusted. Frustrating. People don't know what to do. They think that they're going to trade a device in and it's going to be on there instantly. And these people are not the greatest at explaining how long it's going to take. And people start to freak out when they got big money devices floating out there for trade-in. And then they realize how much they're worth after they traded them in. So now you worry about it after you send it in. You want to worry about where it's at and everything. But maybe you should have took the time to think about, you could have sold those phones yourself and took a little bit of that money and done something with it. But Apple will be glad to take those old chipsets and all of that hardware and put it into next year's new stuff. Or in her case, for his wife's phone, the 12 Pro, they'll put that in the 13 Pro or whatever. Yeah, that is basically what they do. They got rid of the 13 mini, so now the 14 and the 14 Ultra are the mini's predecessors, and they're to pick up the pieces. So 2 cameras it is. Whatever. It's annoying, but Samsung will always be there. You guys will always let me load third-party applications and drop my phone all over the place. Maybe we can do that a second time on video today. But now we're waiting on One UI 5 to come on the Z Fold 3 here. So these are my only complaints right now. The Apple Watch Ultra is great. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is great. The Dynamic Island is great. Always on display is great. Whatever way you have it, it's all great. Whatever phone you're using, it's great because it works for you and it's a tool. It's like being a mechanic and not having socket wrenches, and you just can't get the job done. I mean, I can get the job done without a phone, that's for sure, but it's nice to be able to make it pretty and do it in artistic fashion daily for you guys especially. So if you enjoyed this video, I urge you to make sure you subscribe and like this video, because we're getting those videos liked and a lot of views, and I want to keep the subscribers pumping and making good videos for you guys. Check out my other videos on the Apple Watch Ultra, the Rinky case, the Z Fold 3, and the Spigen camera cover, the iPhone 14 Pro Max and the Spigen camera lens covers. Those videos all drop tonight, and I really, really appreciate you guys. Also, we have the 6-in-1 charger that I just received with the wireless charger on it for the Apple Watch Ultra, the AirPods, even Samsung. My Galaxy Z Fold 3 goes on that thing, and it's great. So you guys hit me up in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling. Happy Saturday night. You guys have a great one. Peace.